Hey, I'm Ronnie Danger. Welcome to this episode where today we work on my 69 C10 restoration project. Not really restoration. We're just going to get it done as good enough as I can to feel good enough to drive it down the road. Not doing 100 point. But anyways, if you didn't see last episode, we started working on this door. Cut out a bunch of rusty stuff. It's over there. I went to put this panel on and realized that it's a hunk of junk. This was free with the door, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I was warned by my buddy at Rust Belt Restorations that it was a piece of crap. He was not wrong. So I went and got a good one from him. So let's put the old rusty panel on this new panel, trace it out, cut it out. Hopefully I don't mess it up. And we put it on this truck. On this door, I mean. Okay. Let's take this lovely thing, which is the old bottom of the door. Put it in the new bottom of the door. Now what I really want to do is put a bunch of clamps on this and make it tight as possible. So that way when I cut this more expensive panel out, I'll get it right. And yes, it makes me a little nervous to cut this panel because it is not a cheaper panel. It's not that expensive. It's only 60 bucks, but it's not that cheap either, considering the other one was free. There you go, round two. All right. But I think the biggest thing is to get these bottoms lined up really well. I need more clamps is what I'm figuring out here. Clamps, I mean vice grips. You know, these guys. You know, if you think about it, the inside of the door, you're the only one's probably going to know it's messed up if you don't get it right. And it's not like I'm working on this for anyone else, so I don't know why I put so much stress into this, thinking about messing it up. I'm the type of person that always wants to do the best I can. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Well, on a project like this, if you're a perfectionist, you might not ever get it done. Because all the stuff that seems like hard and you're going to mess it up and all this stuff, well, it'll just stop you from even getting started on a project. You know, a black marker on a black panel, like I said in the last episode, it's just not a good idea. Let me see if I can find something else. All right, I found this. It's The Mean Streak. Pretty sure it's an 80s song of some sort. If you know who it is, leave it down in the comments. White should be a hell of a lot better than black. So because of this messy ass marker mess that I made, I just went ahead and clamped old piece back on top of the new piece. Should get us plenty in the area. I just got to make sure I'm above it and not right up against it. That was right up against it. I'm doing really well. Alright, let's see how I did. Far from perfect. We gotta be in the neighborhood though. Really in the neighborhood. This is actually really dang close. Now, hold it up tight. I'm overlapping a little bit right there. Well, that's fine. Got a bit of a Gaposaurus Rex right there. This is all pretty decent. This here is really nice. Ow! Cut myself? Nope, we're good. You know, we could be sitting up on this. Could be a small issue. Same thing on the other side. I guess we'll go ahead and knock this off. I want to leave this here. Still a good reference. If I can line this up with this, I know we're in the wheelhouse. If I can get that bottom lip to match this other bottom lip, should be dead nuts perfect. And then when I cut the other one, it'll even be easier. If you notice, there is some inner structure. We're going to do that when we cut the other side off. But I like to get this side tacked in. Looking good. I'm going to go ahead and grind down all the edges. And then drag the welder over here again. I really need a plug on this side for my welder. It's over on my other bay. So I run all the way across the office. You know, it's not a trip hazard or nothing. So we'll get this, yeah, I'll get it cleaned up and we'll bring it back in. Now next up, it's a lot of grinding and fitting, grinding and fitting, grinding and fitting. Back and forth until it fits good enough. The most important part, as you can see right here, I'm throwing my tape measure on it, making sure that it's the right distance from the bottom, exactly how the original one was, and that will make it pretty much where it's got to be. It's a lot of work. This is where you got to take your time and try to just get it the best you can. I did a little more tag welding than I expected, but I got it really lined up pretty doggone good. Everything feels nice. I'll finish tag welding, like I said, after I do the outside. It's a little wavy in here, so I might have to cut some of these tack welds up and move it around. I got this lined up really doggone good. I'm pretty happy with it. The bottom edge lines up good. My measurements, well, I haven't measured it since I tacked it. Maybe I should measure it. I honestly think I'm in the ballpark good enough. Yeah, let's flip the door over. Start on the other side, which is the harder side, because people see that side. I mean, you see the bottom of the door too, but still, you see the outside a lot more. Oh, flipping the door, flipping the door. Ah. Lost my microphone. Oh boy. Got it. Are we connected still? Okay. Alright, let's do a refresh to the other side. Got a bunch of holes. This is dented in. That's rust. Overall, it's not terrible. Honestly, it's not as bad as, let's say, this door. Not as bad as this door right here. You know, she's missing a bit. Also got to fill in these holes, which means, you know, hammer and dolly them flat, weld it up. We'll put new holes in it when we figure out what we're doing for mirrors. Here's the patch panel. Why is the patch panel so much wider? Okay, figure it out. But same thing as before. I'm gonna cut this off straight across here. Then I'm gonna take this piece of metal, lay it in this piece of metal, maybe, and then cut it. Or do I measure from this body line down and then cut it? Because this one has that body line too. So measure from this body line down and cut it. Well, I know my overall length. So as long as I match that up, I don't want to have any big giant Gabosaurus Rexes. So I think the best plan of attack here is to cut the line and go from there. Yeah, this is the tricky side. This is the side that you can't put too much heat in. You're going to warp it. You got to be really careful not to cut into the back side when I'm doing this. There's inner structure in there too. Doggone it, I'm just going to cut it. I'm unsure. Here's the cool part about metal. If you mess it up, you can put it back together with a welder. It's not like wood where you get one shot at it. Like if this was a wooden door and I had one shot, I'd still be just as nervous as I am right now. I mean, I have another door over there, but whatever. I'm just going to cut it. Alrighty then. So I'm Back from the store, I got some rust treatment stuff. It's supposed to seal and prevent new rust. I also got some paint markers that I can actually see on black. So I try to shake them and show you. Look at this. Look at this. No, it's just some Sharpies. I also kind of got a game plan here. I took a little measurement from the body line to right there. I know it's a little hard to see. It's a 1/2 inch. Body line to right there. It's a 1/2 inch. So I know I need to be a 1/2 inch below this line all the way across. That's where I'm going to cut it. Hopefully that leaves me enough access to trim it down to fit. I still got my marks on the door. 32.5 here, 32.5 there, and then 33 here. I measure right next to it, straight up and down. I wrote it right there because that was right next to my tape measure. Both sides. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe get this inside structure welded. Maybe get this piece ready to go in. And then I'm probably going to rust treat this. Yeah, I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I know I want to rust treat this. It takes a couple coats. So I want to hit this tonight before I go home. I'm just trying to think of what I can do while I wait. I think getting this welded in would be a good idea. And the other piece, rust treating it, cutting that piece out, and then let this rest until tomorrow. Got it. I think I have a plan. Yeah, I'm going to do that. You got water dripping on me? Perfect. Alright, this inner piece, I'm going to go ahead and kind of rough it up where I want it. Get the rust off of it. Kind of look it over here. I need to get this piece off. So then... So what I want to do is drill this out so I can put 2 spot welds in it. And I need the drill. Back in a second. So once I do this, it really locks everything in. I probably just could have welded the other side up completely. It is what it is. Probably should have drilled the pilot hole. Alright, there we go. We need a clamp. I don't know if any of you guys out there are Futurama fan, but whenever I say clamps, I always think of that robot that was in that robot gang. You know, clamps. Sure. Quality. Son of a... It's going well. Missed completely somehow. I didn't miss that time. That's welded. I messed with this tack weld. Got that tack weld good. Ran another weld down here. It's good enough. Okay. Gotta clean that up better next time. Now, let me get the other piece out of here. This piece right here. All I'm gonna do is take a chisel and a hammer and beat it out of it. I can straighten it up afterwards. Okay, I got my understructure piece all cleaned up, and it doesn't quite fit right because I had to beat it out of the old one. Right there fits really well. I just have to pull the bottom down. So what I'm gonna do, just like everything else, miss doing tack welds 4 times, 5 times. Sure, I guess I'll get 1 out of the 5. So I'll bring you in here nice and close. When I weld this up, it might weld the other side too, because they're like back to back, and that's where the cut is on this panel on the other side. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll just be able to do one piece. I got a spot weld spot there, and pull this down, and I'll do a spot weld there. Perfect. Yep, my tack weld worked really well. It's old rusty metal. I'm doing the best I can. Well, that looks like Tin Man took a poop on it. But it's done. Inner structure, done. I hate to even bring you in close to look at this weld, but it's a lot of rusty metal. I cleaned it up with the grinder. Still a lot of rusty metal. It's good enough. It's inside the door. No one can see it. I'll just keep telling myself that. No one's going to see it. That's terrible looking. So, I think what I'm going to do next is coat this. Unfortunately, it's not the warmest over here, so I got the heater underneath here. Hopefully it'll warm it up. Oh, it smells lovely. Yeah, I'm trying to get all the way up there the best I can, up inside there. All right, there we go. I'll let this sit and dry. And then after I do the outside piece, I'm going to try to shoot, well, I guess I should do it before I do the outside piece. Try to shoot some rust inhibiting paint up in there. I don't know why I was still wearing the welding helmet. That's got me thinking. I feel like I should weld this other side up completely now that we've done all this. And that way I can primer this whole entire thing on the inside while I can get to it. Or at least shoot it with some direct over metal rust inhibiting paint. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just, I can get to everything right now. It makes no sense to put this on and then not be able to get hardly in there. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Call it right there. I'll be back tomorrow with the paint. And then we'll cut that panel while the paint's drying. Perfect. After a lot of tack welding, it is done. It didn't warp at all. Everything still feels really straight. I did realize though, this entire door kind of does that in the middle on this part. See, when they cut the speaker hole in here, it really kind of warped this whole panel. So I just built to a warp panel. Whatever, it's gonna be fine. Hopefully, I think I can get in there with a hammer and a dolly and straighten this all out. Not that I know what I'm doing with a hammer and a dolly, but we'll figure it out. That's what this is all about. This curve here looks right. And that curve there looks right. So, next, I gotta grind all these welds down. The thing about grinding these down is you can't go too hard right off the bat, because what you're gonna do is warp the metal because you're gonna put too much heat in it. So I'm gonna go back and forth over it, kind of fast. Just knock it down. I'm sure I'm gonna have to tack weld a bunch of spots back in afterwards, because, well, tack weld's a little messy, especially into some old crappy metal like this. So, grinding, welding, till it's done. Awesome. Still got another side to do. The hardest part about this, besides not warping it, is getting these little curves to look good. Great. Another important thing is make sure you're only grinding on the weld and not the steel. Then I was going to get to a point where you're kind of blending it all together that you want to do quickly. Stay on the weld though. Alright, it's pretty well good. It needs a little bit of fine-tuning, which is alright. It's good enough for now. I'm going to flip the door over, and I'm going to paint it on the inside for the most part. There's definitely a low spot right here. It's definitely a low spot right here. But that's fine, because I'm going to have to put some filler in this, and that'll actually level it all out and be perfect. I mean, it's not too bad. First door. Built a lot of things in my life. This isn't too complicated. The hardest part is just to get everything nice and smooth. So we're going to use this stuff right here. This rust barrier, rust preventing coating. Looks like it's for frames, mostly. But should work on the inside of this door. Never used this before. See what happens. I'm sure with the converter on there and this, we'll probably be in pretty good shape to save this door long term. Yeah, see how rusty this is right here? Alright, I figured I better open the door. It's getting stinky real fast in here. Of course, it's cold out there, so it's gonna help the paint.
Look at those wood sides! Watch out, man! The cops!
Yeah, remember, this panel isn't painted. You do not receive it painted. It's like got a coating on it. It's like a really light painting. So you can still rust out brand new panels if you do not coat them. So I'm about that set up, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow I got a full day. I should be able to just work on this. Not have to pay attention to my other job. You know, to my employees and stuff. So, hopefully I get a lot more done and get a video done. I've been trying for Saturday nights at 6 o'clock. I think I'm going to move it till Sunday. We'll see. It might happen to be Monday, but at least I'll get a video out. I'm trying to do a video every week. Trying to stay consistent. Trying to bring you the best content I can. Trying to make it a little more entertaining. Trying to show you... Well, I just walked in the darkness. Trying to make it more entertaining. Trying to show you that you can do this too. I mean, it's just a grinder and a welder. And time. And not being afraid to mess up. Even though I am afraid to mess up because it costs money. God, I not think about it and just get it done. So, here we are. We're getting it done. Alright, I'm back at it after a little time. It's time to finish this door completely up before the end of this episode. Well, it's going to be mostly done. I can't finish it till it's on the truck. Now, that being said, I came in here and I ground these edges down because when they stamped, like these are a little out of shape. So I made sure that I got plenty of room to roll this edge because they're a little long. Speaking of a little long, this thing is a little long. If I put it on. Alright, it's overlapped a little bit, so it's kind of hanging. But once I, cut this piece off, it'll be flush there. And yeah, she's way over on this side. So, since this back part goes with the cab, I'm going to line this side up, make this perfectly straight. Then we're just going to tack it in a couple spots, make this perfectly straight. And when this isn't quite as curved as the original, so we'll probably make a couple slices so it can curve a little more. I don't care how good a panel is or where you get it, always going to have to make adjustments to make everything work. They make things a little bit bigger. So if your truck cab is a little off, your door is a little bit off, you can tune the panel into it. Because these trucks were not perfect from the beginning. They got to compensate for that. So just be ready to cut up some brand new metal and make it work. Let's get this panel cut and finally start fitting it on this door. So I'm going to do the same thing I did on the inside of the door. I'll take the panel, lay it in here, and then trace it. Now I know I need to be a ½ inch below this line right here in the panel. That's about then. That's perfect. So right there. Got my brand new Sharpie paint pen I showed you earlier. What in the world's going on with this thing? I don't want to ruin my tip. It's starting to show up. Damn. I bet there's instructions that tell you how to make this work right, but Oh, there we are. Okay. Just had to hold it out a little longer. There we go. That worked way better than anything else I've used. Look, I can actually see that. Now that we're marked, I'm going to double check my measurements. Alright, the bottom edge of this is a 1/2 inch. So if I cut right on the line, it's going to be perfect. Maybe even a little bit above the line. Alright, here we go. Definitely want to take my time with this and hopefully get it right. Alright, moment of truth. How bad did I mess it up? I can already see some trimming. Yep, and this is definitely not curved enough. But anyways, let's just set it in, do some measuring. I know from the bottom of here to here, 32 and a half. It's got to come up just a skosh, which I can do here on this end. And the front part here, 33. That's dead nuts perfect. So as I'm going to do is a little trimming over here. Clean this edge up. Back her in. Can't get no closer than that. That makes me really excited how close this really is. This is very much weldable. Very much the same thing that was there. So I'm just going to tack the outside of this. Alright, now the edges are all cleaned up. Let's see how this really fits. Throw a piece of duct tape on here. Just kind of hold it. Definitely gonna have to work it as I go. Just kind of get the line up. Because that's just how it goes. So over here, it's too high. So I'm gonna have to hit this down a little, which is fine. That's about dead nuts on. Perfect. Perfect. That's as close as that I can get. The gaps look really good. I don't think there's anything left to do but throw a couple tacks on it. Oh. Obviously turn the gas on. Alright, now we're up a little bit there in the middle. I might have to cut this tack weld back off. Yeah, I gotta cut this tack weld back off. This end, like, the end of these doors kind of like roll off both ways. So it's going to be some body work to get it right. That's for sure. This part's got to come up. I gotta quit messing on my tack welds. Okay, I think you get the point. It's just gonna be a lot of working back and forth. And I'm just going to tack weld it all the way across. And then we're going to flip it over and kind of see what's going on the back side. Like, some of it fits really tight. Some of it doesn't. So, we're just going to get it tacked. And then probably call it a video because I need to work on the cab before I can put the door on, test fit the door. So I don't want to get too crazy with it. Yeah, we're just going to tack all the way across. Bring it back in when I'm done doing that. Fun, fun. So there we go. You want to run your finger across it, make sure it doesn't catch. Don't be afraid if, like, see this part was overlapping a little bit. So what I did is I took my grinder. I just got in here and I cut across it and trimmed it to fit. I mean, I still got a little high, a little low, but I can get in behind this and push it out. You want to do a tack weld about every inch, which I got a little crazy with. And if you don't trust your fingers, get yourself a little flat edge. If you can run it across and it doesn't catch, you're doing good. Now, here's what I'm realizing. This inside panel, these outside parts, I can squeeze down, squeeze together, and it makes it curve more. When I get over here to the middle, like right there, they are connected already. So what I have to do with this door is put it on the truck, and it'll tell me how my curve is. I think it needs to be curved a little more. We might have to do some adjusting. We might have to do some cutting and move everything down. So if you're following along to do your own door, just understand, take your time, get everything lined up right. The door has to go on the cab before it can be finished. I'm just going to leave it tack welded to what I got right now. I've got a lot of work still to do on just one door. This is why I'm starting with the hardest part of this project first. I know it's not the most exciting part, like the motor, which is sitting over in the corner, or bagging it, because this truck's going to be airbag. There's a lot to do on this truck. But I'm going to get back on the Chevette. I think probably you're going to be a bicycle video next, or back on the Chevette. In case you're wondering what the bicycle video is, check this one out over here. And I'll see you next time. God bless you. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this inspires you to get started on your own project. See ya.